Thanks for tuning in to the BowHunterPlanet podcast. Watch the full video exclusively on Carbon TV. This show is brought to you by Tinks, Scent Crusher, Camp Chef and Cat Work Truck, Victory Archery and Thorn Broadheads, Cobra Archery and Shadow Hunter Blinds, Burris Optics and Reveal Cellular Trail Cams, HHA and HHA USA. Additional support by Under Armour and Deer Camp Coffee. Hey guys, welcome to the BowHunterPlanet podcast. Dave Thomas alone tonight, but we're going to have some fun because I am here with Eric from Okayest I shouldn't say bow hunting, hunter, because they do all sorts of hunting. So I like to throw bow hunting and everything, Eric. Sorry, but it's not that you guys don't include bow hunting anyways, so I guess it's fine. How's it going, man?
It's good. I'm tired. I woke up really early to do a turkey hunt this morning, my first time ever. And it just happened to be the night that one of my kids was sick. So he didn't sleep and I didn't sleep. So I just kind of didn't sleep. So you're getting like a really tired version of me.
That's okay. That's why I said tonight's different, because there's like 2 or 3 guys on from each of our teams. So it's funny. It just ends up being you and me. But Eric and I just got off actually his podcast. Actually, it was yesterday, even though the way we date our podcast, this won't air for a few weeks. But, so basically we met each other through TikTok and through the social networks, and, coming at it from a perspective of being in the industry a long time and then seeing you guys create this. It looks like you guys are established in 2020, which is amazing, actually, during the pandemic, which is crazy. But tell me about the brand and how you guys came up with it, and your thoughts to kind of who's on the team and just a little bit of the history of it.
Yeah, the history actually technically dates back to 2013. Even though we didn't actually get our business registered until 2020 for Okayest Hunter. If I'm going to talk about the history of it, I started podcasting in 2013 for the Where to Hunt podcast. And then, just be on the defense because I wasn't an expert or pro hunter, I'm okay, obviously. I started calling myself, hey, I'm the Okayest hunter. I'm okayest at this. And I really kind of leaned into just getting on the defense. So I didn't have to hear people say well, where's your big deer? Why are you talking about these things?
Yeah.
And then that kind of caught on. So I started saying Wisconsin's Okayest hunter, because that's where we're at. And then this is the Okayest podcast. So people started kind of adopting it. And then somewhere along the way, I'm a bit of a domain name hoarder. I bought the domain name, met with a guy that was a listener of the podcast at the time, Tyler. And he's a smart dude. He actually lives right down the road from me. So we got coffee. And I was like, hey, I have this idea for this thing. I pitched it to a couple other guys. They weren't keen on it at the time. I was like, I'm going to do something with this. Do you want to go in on it with me? I can't do it by myself. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So then that was the end of 2019-ish. And 2020, we started doing content in 2019 on Instagram just to see how it'd go. We tested some merch, just small bets that we were placing, and it kind of just kept going and kept going. So we got the business registered in 2020, and now we're rocking and rolling. Now we got a team. I got 2 podcast co-hosts, Greg Tubbs and Derek Melkor, and then Tyler's, I wouldn't say he's a silent partner, but he's not on the podcast. And you'll see him on our social stuff quite a bit, but he's the opposite of me. He's like the CFO and COO, and I'm like the CEO, CMO. So we, kind of play different parts of the business and kind of balance each other out pretty well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Like I said, I love to see what I call the grind. And that's when people really put in the time and energy to make something happen, and, and creating something that's your own. And people always talk about in this industry, everybody wants something, right? They're like, oh, it's so cool, you guys get a free bow or whatever it is. But it's most people don't realize the amount of work that goes into the challenges and work that go into the work, the work itself. And I feel like it's just so nice to see that you guys are into it, seriously into it, and, created something that's really good. And on top of it, just, you could tell you guys are putting a lot of effort into it, which is really important to make it right, to do something you love to do. But I can't harp enough how amazing it's been. The concept of social media, it's really cool when you think about it, that anybody can create something. It's not like it used to be where you had to be a movie star or a network to create a show or outdoor channel. You don't have to be that no more. Anybody can start a YouTube page tomorrow that shows off big deer they kill or whatever it is, right? Or a podcast, whatever. That to me is amazing, and it's so cool when I see people who do it, but then are actually doing it. So hats off to you guys, man. It is a grind. I know because we live it every day as well, and it's it's just nice to see another professional team going at it. It's great.
Yeah, there's no barrier of entry anymore. There's no gatekeepers. You can start to do it. And honestly, for us, it was like, the tipping point really. I talked about this other stuff of like the Where to Hunt podcast and all of that. But when I was talking to Tyler about it, when I met him for the first time, we were talking about how we were seeing kids get bashed for tagging, a spike buck and posting about it. And we're like, let's do something about it. This could be the thing. Like we could do this. And it just, you're right, though. It is a grind, but when you have a strong mission, people rally around that, and it gets you excited. It fires you up. One of the coolest things that happened to the brand that we didn't foresee was when we started kind of using hashtags like never pass and shooter buck is in the eye of the beholder. So we call it shooter buck and shoot deer and my tag, my hunt, all this stuff. All of a sudden, our inbox was getting flooded with people sending us pictures of their shooter bucks, of their spike bucks, of their fork horns, of the basket racks. And those pictures, when we went to their social profiles, weren't there. They didn't ever post them anywhere because they were too afraid to be ridiculed. And suddenly they're like,